Imagine this. A man locked in a tiny prison cell for 27 years. No bed, no freedom, only a thin mat on a cold floor. But here's the twist. When he finally walked out, he didn't seek revenge. Instead, he became the president and united an entire nation. His name? Nelson Mandela. Today, I'm going to tell you his incredible story in just 10 minutes. A story so powerful, it will change the way you see challenges forever. But wait, there's a secret Mandela learnt in prison that made him unstoppable. Stick around because I'll reveal it at the end. Let's dive in. Nelson Mandela was born on July 18, 1918 in a small village called Maweso in South Africa. His real name was Rolihlahla Mandela, which means troublemaker, and trust me, he lived up to that name. He grew up in a mud hut with no electricity, no running water, nothing. But young Mandela was happy. He played in the fields, swam in streams, and listened to elders tell stories about brave warriors. One day, his father told him something he never forgot. A real leader doesn't want power for himself, he serves his people. These words became Mandela's life mission. But tragedy struck when Mandela was only 9 years old. His father died. His life changed forever. He was sent to live with a chief where he saw a bigger world and learnt about leadership. At age 7, his teacher gave him the English name Nelson. He didn't understand why, but he accepted it and focused on learning. He loved books, especially stories about African heroes who fought for freedom. As Mandela grew older, he saw something terrible happening in South Africa. It was called Apartheid, a system that separated black and white people in every part of life. Black people couldn't vote, they couldn't own land, they couldn't even live in the same neighborhoods as white people. Mandela was angry. He wanted to fight for justice. At age 19, his family arranged a marriage for him. But Mandela had other dreams. So what did he do? He ran away to Johannesburg, the big city. In Johannesburg, Mandela worked as a night watchman at a gold mine. He lived in a tiny room and often went hungry. But he never gave up. Why? Because he believed education was his weapon. He studied law at university. He was one of the few black students there. People discriminated against him, but he became stronger. Then, Mandela joined the African National Congress, ANC, a group fighting for black people's rights. He gave powerful speeches. People started calling him a future leader. Mandela opened South Africa's first black law firm with his friend Oliver Tambo. They helped people who suffered under apartheid. But peaceful protests weren't working. The government was too cruel. In 1960, something horrific happened. During a peaceful protest in Sharpeville, police opened fire on the crowd. They killed 69 innocent people. Mandela realized peaceful protests alone wouldn't bring change, so he formed a secret armed group called Umkhonto we Spear of the Nation. Their goal wasn't to kill people, they wanted to destroy government buildings that supported apartheid. Mandela became a wanted man. He traveled in disguise. People called him the Black Pimpernel because he was so good at hiding. But in 1962, he was caught. Mandela was arrested and charged with treason, trying to overthrow the government. His trial became world famous. In court, Mandela said something that echoed around the world. I have fought against white domination and black domination. I dream of a free society where everyone lives in harmony. It is an ideal I am prepared to die for. The government sentenced him to life in prison. Mandela was sent to Robben Island, a harsh prison off the coast of South Africa. Life there was brutal. He broke rocks in a limestone quarry every day under the burning sun. He lived in a tiny cell with no bed. He could only see one visitor and receive one letter every 6 months. The guards tried to break him, but Mandela refused to give up. Instead, he used his time wisely. He studied. He learned the language of his enemies. He taught younger prisoners about leadership and hope. He said, I am an optimist. I keep my head pointed towards the sun and my feet moving forward. But here's the amazing part. While Mandela was locked away, his name became a symbol of freedom worldwide. People across the globe protested. They chanted, Free Nelson Mandela. Musicians like Stevie Wonder and Bob Marley sang about him. Countries stopped trading with South Africa.
Even in prison, Mandela secretly communicated with other leaders. He even started negotiating with the government. Why? Because Mandela understood something powerful. South Africa needed peace, not revenge. On February 11, 1990, the world held its breath. Nelson Mandela walked out of prison. He was 71 years old. His hair was grey, but his spirit was unbroken. His first words were, "The time for healing has come. The time to build is upon us." People danced, they cried, they celebrated. Mandela's freedom wasn't just his victory, it was freedom for all of South Africa. But Mandela faced a huge question. How do you heal a broken nation? Many people wanted revenge, but Mandela preached something radical: forgiveness. He said, resentment is like drinking poison and hoping it will kill your enemies. Mandela worked with the very people who imprisoned him to build a new South Africa. In 1994, history was made. South Africa held its first democratic election where everyone, black, white, Indian, colored, could vote. On April 27, 1994, Nelson Mandela became South Africa's first black president. His inauguration was watched by millions. Leaders from around the world attended. Mandela said, "Never again shall this beautiful land experience oppression." As president, Mandela focused on unity. One famous moment was when he supported South Africa's rugby team, the Springboks, during the 1995 Rugby World Cup. Rugby was seen as a white man's sport, but Mandela wore their jersey, showing that unity was possible. This story was made into the movie Invictus. Mandela served one term as president and stepped down in 1999. Why? Because true leaders know when to let go of power. He spent his later years fighting for peace, education, and helping people with HIV/AIDS. On December 5, 2013, Nelson Mandela passed away at age 95. The world mourned. Millions attended his memorial. Presidents, celebrities, and ordinary people whose lives he touched. But Mandela's legacy lives on. Here's the secret Mandela learnt in prison that I promised to tell you. Mandela said, "I never lose. I either win or learn." This is the key. Failure is not the end. Every time you fall, you can rise again. Every mistake is a lesson to grow stronger. Mandela's life teaches us, never give up, even in the darkest times. Forgiveness is stronger than hate. Let go of anger. One person can change the world. You have that power too. Mandela spent 27 years in prison, but he chose peace over revenge. He didn't have to be perfect, he just never stopped trying. His final message to us is, the greatest glory in living is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. So remember, no matter what challenges you face, you are stronger than you think. Your dreams are worth fighting for. Nelson Mandela changed the world, and so can you. If this story inspired you, hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to hear this today. Subscribe to our channel for more powerful stories like this. Thank you for watching. Keep moving forward, keep believing, and never ever give up.